Halloween, a time for costumes and candy. But few know its ancient roots. Long before jack-o'-lanterns, the Celts celebrated Samhain. This festival marked the end of the harvest season. It was a time to prepare for the darkness of winter. The Celts lived in what is now Ireland, Britain, and France. They believed the boundary between the worlds thinned on Samhain. On October 31st, spirits could cross over. It was a night of both celebration and fear. People lit bonfires to ward off evil spirits. They wore costumes to disguise themselves. They left offerings of food and drink. Samhain was a powerful reminder of the mysteries beyond this life. As the Roman Empire expanded its vast territories, it encountered the Celts and their rich traditions. The Celts, known for their deep connection to nature and the spiritual world, celebrated many festivals, with Samhain being one of the most significant. This festival marked the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter, a time when the boundary between the living and the dead was believed to be at its thinnest. The Romans, with their own rich mythology and pantheon of gods, found the Celtic traditions intriguing. They began to incorporate elements of Samhain into their own festivals, blending the two cultures in a unique way. This cultural exchange was not just limited to festivals, but extended to various aspects of daily life, including religious practices and societal norms. Two Roman celebrations in particular played a crucial role in shaping what we now know as Halloween. These festivals were deeply rooted in Roman beliefs and customs, yet they seamlessly integrated elements of Celtic traditions. The first was Feralia, a solemn Roman festival held in late October to honor the spirits of the deceased. During Feralia, Romans would visit the graves of their ancestors, offering food, wine, and flowers to appease the spirits and ensure their peaceful rest. This act of remembrance was a deeply personal and communal event, where families gathered to reflect on the lives of their loved ones who had passed away. It was a time of mourning, but also of celebration, as they believed that honoring the dead would bring blessings to the living. Offerings were made at altars, and rituals were performed to appease the spirits. These practices were believed to maintain harmony between the living and the dead, ensuring that the spirits would not return to haunt the living. This festival shared many similarities with the Celtic belief in spirits crossing over during Samhain. Both cultures held a deep respect for the dead and believed in the importance of rituals to honor them. The second influential celebration was dedicated to Pomona, the Roman goddess of fruit and trees. Pomona was revered for her association with abundance and the harvest. Apples, a symbol of Pomona, became central to the festivities. The apple harvest was a time of joy and celebration, and the fruit itself became a symbol of the season. Over time, apples and their associated customs, such as bobbing for apples, became intertwined with Halloween traditions. This blending of Celtic and Roman traditions laid the groundwork for a new holiday to emerge. The merging of these rich cultural practices created a tapestry of customs that evolved into the Halloween we celebrate today, a holiday that honors the past while embracing the present. By the 8th century, Christianity had spread throughout much of Europe. The Church's influence was growing, and it sought to bring more people into the Christian fold. To achieve this, the Church sought to replace pagan holidays with Christian observances. These pagan festivals were deeply rooted in the culture and traditions of the people, making it a challenging task. In 609 AD, Pope Boniface IV designated November 1st as All Saints' Day. This was a strategic move to provide a Christian alternative to the pagan celebrations. This day honored all Christian saints, known and unknown. It was a way to celebrate the lives of those who had shown exceptional piety and devotion to the faith. It was a day to celebrate those who exemplified holiness and faith. The Church encouraged people to attend special services and participate in religious activities. The evening before All Saints' Day became known as All Hallows Eve, or Halloween. This was a time for reflection and preparation for the holy day to come. This strategic placement aimed to Christianize the pagan celebration of Samhain. Samhain was a significant festival for the Celts, marking the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter. It provided an alternative focus for people accustomed to marking the season with ancient rituals. The church hoped that by offering a Christian celebration, people would gradually abandon their pagan practices. While the church intended to replace paganism, some traditions persisted. The belief in spirits, the lighting of bonfires, and the wearing of costumes were deeply ingrained in the culture. These elements found their way into the observance of All Hallows Eve. People continued to light bonfires to ward off evil spirits and wore costumes to disguise themselves from wandering souls. This fusion of old and new created a holiday with a complex and layered history. Over time, Halloween evolved, blending Christian and pagan traditions into the celebration we know today. The church's efforts to Christianize Samhain resulted in a unique holiday that reflects the rich tapestry of cultural and religious influences throughout history. The practice of trick-or-treating has its roots in a medieval custom known as souling. This tradition dates back to the Middle Ages, a time when communities were tightly knit and religious observances were central to daily life. On All Souls' Day, November 2nd, poor people would go door to door asking for soul cakes. These soul cakes were small, round pastries, often marked with a cross to signify their religious significance. These small pastries were given in exchange for prayers for the dead. The act of giving and receiving soul cakes was seen as a charitable exchange, where the living would help the souls of the deceased find peace. It was a way to provide food to the needy while seeking spiritual benefit. This practice not only helped the poor, but also reinforced the community's spiritual bonds. Over time, souling evolved into a more light-hearted tradition involving children. As the centuries passed, the focus shifted from prayers for the dead to a more festive and communal activity. Instead of soul cakes, they began receiving treats like apples, nuts, and eventually candy. This change reflected the evolving nature of the tradition, adapting to the tastes and customs of different eras. The act of dressing up in costumes and going door to door remained, transforming into the modern practice of trick-or-treating. Today, children don a variety of costumes, from spooky to whimsical, and eagerly visit homes in their neighborhoods. While trick-or-treating is now a beloved Halloween tradition, it has become a time for families to come together, decorate their homes, and share in the joy of the season. Some Christian parents have concerns. They worry about the origins of the tradition and its connections to ancient rituals. They question its connection to ancient practices of appeasing spirits. These concerns lead to deeper reflections on the meaning and significance of Halloween. This leads to important discussions about faith and family traditions. These conversations help families navigate the balance between enjoying modern festivities and honoring their spiritual beliefs.
Go and make disciples, shine His light on every screen. Share His love, His truth, His peace. In the digital realm, we'll plant His seed.